I have a very close older relative. While growing up, for almost every time she was told to do a task, she asked for a pay. And she wasn't the type that you would sway by, I'll buy biscuit for you. He would tell you, give me money first. And beating and flogging this stuff that, the African environment, this nature shaped her into the most industrious among her sisters. It wasn't that she loved the work, it was that she loved the reward. I have a friend that called his daughter to the table one day and said, I want to give you work and I will pay you a salary so you can learn how daddy became rich. He wrote an offer letter with a job description and remuneration structure. When I read it, I saw simple task of making the bed, washing the plate, switching off the bulbs in the morning and keeping bottled water at the bedside every night for daddy and mommy. And guess what? She failed sometimes. Yes, you expected to hear that she succeeded. No, she failed sometimes. But the important thing is to instill consciousness. And over time, she learned it. Don't give them money early in life. Let them earn it. Yes, make money a reward, not just a gift of love. Create a job description and attach payment to it. See what they do with the first 2 months' payments. Thank you very much once again for joining me in today's episode. And today I want to talk to you on how to train your child to be rich. And in the next 10 minutes, I will tell you how this works. Most of the times when I coach parents on their kids' finances, I always advise these 2 things. And those 2 things are part of the things I will tell you in the next 10 minutes. I have a very close older relative. While growing up, for almost every time she was told to do a task, she asked for a pay. And she wasn't the type that you would sway by, I'll buy biscuit for you. He would tell you, give me money first. And beating and flogging this stuff that, the African environment, this nature shaped her into the most industrious among her sisters. It wasn't that she loved the work, it was that she loved the reward. So the first thing to do in trying to train your child to be rich is to find their money personality type. I keep saying that. Here is one way you can know your children's money personality. The first test is don't give them money early in life. Let them earn it. Yes, make money a reward, not just a gift of love. Create a job description and attach payment to it. See what they do with the first 2 months' payments. This might look very hard, but you can start with simple things. Here are a few examples of how to implement this. Imagine a child comes back from school and wants to jump into eating his food. You can say words like, darling, first remove your school uniform and put in the washing machine, after which you can come take your food. I observed the woman at the mall one day. She was with a child. The child looked around 3 or 4 years old. The child requested that the mom buy juice for him. The mom responded, I'll buy the juice if you will help me carry one of the bags in my hand. That got my attention. I was like, how? She insisted. When the child wanted to blackmail her with those murmuring cries of tantrums, children, but if you want juice, you will have to help mommy carry a bag. She said, why stretching one of the nylon bags to the child? Finally, the child carried the nylon bag and the mom handed him a juice. It was a win-win. I asked the woman why she had to do that. She smiled. I'm teaching the man in him to become financially responsible and work for his money. I was shocked, but then I smiled too and I walked on. But it was something I decided to borrow afterwards. I have a friend that called his daughter to the table one day and said, I want to give you work and I will pay you a salary so you can learn how daddy became rich. That was very outstanding. After the discussion, he wrote an offer letter with a job description and remuneration structure. When I read it, I saw simple tasks of making the bed, washing the plate, switching off the bulbs in the morning and keeping bottled water at the bedside every night for daddy and mommy. And what was the pay? Just 3,000 naira and a cup of cake. The daughter loves cupcakes. And guess what? She failed sometimes. Yes, you expected to hear that she succeeded. No, she failed sometimes. But the important thing is to instill consciousness. And over time, she learned it. When they start making this money, what next? That's what you might ask. For the first 2 months or even 3, don't tell them what to do with this money. Just observe where the money goes. This gives you an insight of who they are with money. Remember the money personality type, which might be a reflection of what they have seen you do with money. Do they spend immediately? Do they save first, spend later? Do they hold and refuse to spend? Do they invest in something like tools, skills, resell items? Don't interfere yet. Observation comes before correction. When you track where their money goes, it gives you an insight into what is likely important to them. People spend in the direction of their interest. This phase helps identify if the child is an impulsive spender, natural saver, security holder, opportunity seeker. After you have made these observations, then step in and shape them into the money personality you want them to wear. I'll give you 5 things to do to shape them. After this observation period is elapsed, add small constraints. For example, you can choose to delay the next payment by 4 days or by 7 days and watch the reaction and feeling it gives them. Does the child complain? Does he delay a purchase, panic, approach you head on to negotiate why payment hasn't been made? Or they go on strike, like the labor union, they quit doing the task. Alternatively, you can introduce a surprise expense, something that feels like unexpected expense but must be small, realistic, and aligns with their age and the salary structure you pay the child. For example, you can intentionally break their pencil, of course not in their presence, and watch how they respond. Does he choose to buy a new pencil or choose to keep using it that way? This will reveal how the child solves money problem. Simple task like that, but then great results. If the child is up to 13, you can make him misplace the money. Meanwhile, this should be a planned misplacement that you played out and not an actual loss. And see how he reacts to loss of money. Does he ask for more work to get more pay so he can recover faster, or sits in regret? Remember, you are no longer doing only observation at this stage. You shape him into the rich child you want him to be based on your observations. You seize those moments to teach. You are not judging spending, of course. You are studying their risk tolerance. Do they spend everything or hold back? Their saving instincts, how well they prepare for unexpected expenses. Their negotiation skills, do they ask for a raise, and what basis or on what additional value? And if negotiation fail, do they show resilience to continue the job, or they just want to quit? Check out for their entitlement level. If they always believe that you will bail me out of this bad financial mess. Don't embarrass them. Don't shout. Don't say, I told you so. If you think they can handle a loss of jobs, simulate a sack and see how they handle it, either through savings, starting a business, or asking to borrow money from you. If they decide to borrow, lend them the money on standard back interest rates. Yes. Don't introduce expenses they can't realistically handle. The goal is learning, not suffering. Why this works? Because money personality is reviewed under pressure, not comfort. And it's better that these children start learning it from the pressure of just 1,000 naira, 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira than facing it in adulthood for the first time with rent, hospital bills, school fees, and job loss. Which makes more sense. Now that you have made these observations and have started shaping, it might be tempting to label the child as a spender, as a saver or budgeter. Don't label them yet. Also try not to suppress who they are with money. You are trying to shape, not suppress. If you discover excess spending traits, teach the child delayed gratification. If the observation is that of a saver, encourage the child to take calculated risks. If the first instinct of the child is to always negotiate it, teach ethics and value creation. If the child is anxious with money or tends to hoard his own money and wants to spend from that of his siblings, teach generosity and investment. The most important thing I will want to say here is that you model what you teach as well. Tell them stories of your financial journey and ask for their opinion when you want to make some financial decisions. Children hear what you do, not necessarily what you say. You are taking them to school, but the fuel tank is getting low. Ask for their opinion on whether you should fill up the tank or just buy enough to save the day. This gives you an insight into what they think. Children copy behaviors, not lectures. If parents spend impulsively, borrow carelessly, hide money conversations, the children learns that no matter what you teach. Finally, review and update your observation book. Every few months, sit down and ask, what did you enjoy doing with your money? What stressed you out? What would you change? Reflection turns the experience into wisdom. Kids discover their money personality when parents, 1, let them earn. 2, let them choose. 3, let them feel the consequences of small actions. 4, guide without shaming them. And 5, you have to shape without controlling them. If you have learned something, please tell me what you learned in the comment section. If you have a question too, you can ask in the comment section and I promise to answer. And if you as an adult, you still have not yet mastered your own money personality type, I would also encourage you to move over to favouremeli.com/money quiz and write the test there and discover who you are with money. With that, you can help your children become who you want them to become with money. Thank you very much.